Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment as the New Orleans Saints beat the Carolina Panthers 12-9. Not really much to talk about from this game, but I'm on winter break. I watched it, I have nothing to do, so I might as well recap the game. You see, when I have time, I recap games. I just don't have time most of the time. So tonight, the New Orleans Saints won 12-9 in what was a defensive battle, and I actually enjoyed this game. I thought this was an enjoyable game. You saw a lot of good defensive plays today, and offensively, it wasn't that they were playing ugly football, they just weren't able to get a lot of stuff done because the defenses were very good today. You saw the Panthers defense flying around sideline to sideline, same with the Saints defense. But if there was an ugly offense today, it was the Carolina Panthers, and we got to start with quarterback Cam Newton, who, man, I mean, this guy just continues to be so inconsistent in his entire NFL career, and today was another microcosm of that. I mean, that sequence to end the game, right? The Panthers had a chance to win this game down 12-9. They got lucky that Saints wide receiver that I don't think I've ever seen before, that this guy fumbled the ball trying to dive into the end zone. Okay, they had a chance to win the game. 1 minute 44 seconds left, win the game, and even tie, right? 1 minute 44 seconds, you can go win the game in that amount of time, but you could definitely tie, and Cam Newton did nothing. I mean, he threw inaccurate pass after inaccurate pass, and Booger McFarland, for the first time in his life, actually gave good analysis. Cam Newton had opportunities to step up in the pocket and use his legs to make these throws down the field, and he wouldn't do it. His mechanics were absolutely choppy and weak during that final sequence. He was just throwing the ball with his torso and his torso alone. I don't know what he was doing, just some weird cockscrew throw. And I know right now he has some shoulder issues, he's banged up, but you can use your legs. Your legs are healthy right now, so I don't know why he wasn't stepping into those throws late. I don't know why his mechanics went out of the window, but he was throwing like he was back at Auburn. And this is not a discussion we should still be having about Cam Newton. I mean, people, this guy was drafted in the 2011 NFL draft. It is 2018, it's about to be 2019 in just a couple of weeks, and we're still seeing Cam Newton having these absolute rookie-like quarterback mechanics. I mean, sometimes your mechanics can go out the window, but not to this extent. And look, I understand the wide receiver situation in Carolina is not very good right now. Neither is the tight end situation because Greg Olsen is out. Okay, Chris Manhertz came up with a huge touchdown today, but that wasn't from Cam Newton, the quarterback, right? So, I mean, I understand the wide receivers aren't very good, but DJ Moore, he's had some decent things this year. We're about to get to DJ Moore because he had a huge gap in this game, but he has 600 receiving yards this year. He's done a decent job, and Christian McCaffrey is a great security blanket that Cam Newton does use. But this game today, I mean, this was not good quarterback play from Cam Newton. I had to give him a D, maybe even a D- for his quarterback play today. He missed a lot of throws, threw some balls out of bounds when he was actually trying to hit the receiver. I mean, I'm not sure if you remember this specific play, but there was a 2nd and 1 where he was trying to hit a wide receiver out. It sailed out of bounds, and he was trying to make that throw. It wasn't like he was intentionally throwing out of bounds. No, he could have made this throw, and he missed it. So that was very unimpressive, Cam Newton, and thus ends the Panthers season. I mean, this is it, people. They're not making the playoffs at this point. I think if the Vikings lose out and the Seahawks lose out, and if everyone loses out, they can do it, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'm not even sure if that's mathematically possible. I'm just saying that off the top of my head. Either way, it's not going to happen. Right? The Panthers are done. Forget about the Carolina Panthers, and they got to figure stuff out. They got to bring in a quarterback guru that can make Cam Newton more consistent, and they do also need to give him a little more wide receiver help. Again, they drafted DJ Moore this year. He's going to continue to progress. Okay, so I'm looking forward to that, but do not completely rely upon that. Get another wide receiver in here, and I would say a veteran. Okay, if you can get a veteran wide receiver, Golden Tate might be available. Demaryius Thomas might be available. Actually, I think he has 1 more year left on his deal now I think about it, but there will be some wide receivers available that I would try to acquire. A veteran is what I think you guys need. But if you want to go young as well in the draft, you can do that as well. I just would caution against it because we're looking for Curtis Samuel, right? When is Curtis Samuel going to give us consistent things? And he's done some things this year, but not enough, right? Where was he tonight, right? And Devin Funchess, I think he might be an upcoming free agent, Devin Funchess. So that's a problem there. He was targeted once today, and that was a bad throw by Cam Newton. Again, Cam Newton, that interception in the end zone, I want to say in the 2nd quarter. It was definitely in the middle of the game, though. I mean, he definitely at the second quarter. That was when they were trying to drive down at the end of the second quarter, end of the first half, try to put up a field goal or a touchdown. That was a huge possession in hindsight, right? Cam Newton throws this ball short, trying to throw a fade to the corner right of the end zone, and just throws it to the cornerback. Throws it in a position where only the cornerback can get the football, and Devin Funchess should have got a better release there to me. Devin Funchess only left him really like a couple of inches of sideline to use, but I mean, either way, this was a bad throw by Cam Newton. It was picked off by the Saints cornerback. So I don't know what Cam Newton was thinking in this game. This is a bad game by Cam Newton. It's a D- game, D- game from Cam Newton. I was actually shocked by the quarterback play I saw today from Cam Newton. So anyway, enough Cam Newton stuff. Christian McCaffrey this year I've been very impressed by, and again, he's been such a good security blanket for Cam Newton in terms of the receiving game, not only this year but last year, but also this year. You're seeing him run the ball so much better, right? Last year he only averaged like 3 point something yards per carry. This year he's averaging well over 4, maybe even 5, and I love seeing that. Remember, he was one of my top 10 players from that 2017 NFL draft. I loved Christian McCaffrey, and I love seeing that come to fruition. I had him ranked very highly, and I think you're starting to see that as to why I had it that way. Moreover, from that, DJ Moore. Let's get to DJ Moore now. Now, you can blame this loss on DJ Moore as well. Like, I'm going to put, in terms of blame, okay, I'm putting 70% on Cam Newton. I mean, again, I think he could have got better protection here and there. I mean, there were 4 sacks allowed today, but I think, again, if he would have provided the Panthers a better quarterback play in terms of throwing the ball down the field, they would have won this game. But I think at least 20% of it has to go on DJ Moore as well, who fumbled the ball, right? The Panthers are driving down the field. They had the lead at this point in the game, and then he fumbles the ball away, allows the Saints to then go back down the field. Alvin Kamara score the go-ahead touchdown. This was a ridiculous play. I can't believe he fumbled on this play, and it was huge, right? So he gets blamed, and then the blame, 10% else can be spread out, okay, in democratic fashion, right? Everyone can get the other 10%, or socialist fashion, I should say. Everyone can get the rest of the 10%. So Christian McCaffrey, he's fine to me, but Cam Newton and DJ Moore, I'm pointing the fingers at y'all. Devin Funchess was not seen today other than that one target. They're missing Greg Olsen, and they're going to miss the playoffs, right? I mean, this is now how many losses? This is now 6 straight losses for the Carolina Panthers. They've fallen, and they cannot get up, and it's just unbelievable. And they're going to be back to the playoffs next year, right? Because this is what they do. This is their move. I don't get it, but that's what they do. With that said, one other credit I want to give, Luke Kuechly, fantastic. This guy's a beast. I mean, just going sideline to sideline, giving it everything he had. And if only it was him that was trying to make the tackle on Alvin Kamara on that key late play instead of Thomas Davis. But either way, it didn't matter because you got the ball back and Cam Newton chunked it away for you. So it doesn't matter anyway. So for New Orleans Saints, whew, what is going on in this league? I don't know, but I love it. Yet again, we have a disappointing performance from one of the NFL's best teams. We saw it yesterday night from the LA Rams, they lost, and we saw it tonight from the New Orleans Saints, they won. But man, I just don't know what's gonna happen when these playoffs start, man. I don't know who's gonna choke. I don't know who's not gonna show up. I don't know who is gonna show up. The hottest teams in the NFL right now, in the NFC, you got the Bears and the Cowboys. In the AFC, you got the Chargers, you got the Texans, and you got the Colts. I mean, are one of these 5 teams gonna win the Super Bowl? Or will it still be the Chiefs, the Saints, or the Rams, or the Patriots? I don't know, but there's a clash that is taking place between these hotter teams that are lower seeds but still decent seeds, mid seeds, and these other seeds that have been historic powers. A lot of them, a couple of them have won Super Bowls, in the Patriots and the Saints, that are now having struggles, now not showing up. What is going on late into the season? And we've seen this from the Saints. When December rolls around, when January rolls around, they tense up, their offense isn't nearly as potent, and they struggle. But the thing is, for them, they will be hosting playoff games in New Orleans, right? Because I do not foresee LA getting home field advantage from them, because that is going to require the Saints to lose out, which, by the way, that matchup next week against the Pittsburgh Steelers in New Orleans is concerning me a little bit, but again, it's in New Orleans, so I expect New Orleans to get it done. But the Saints would have to lose out, and the Rams would have to win out. And I don't think both of those are going to happen. I think both of them probably win out, okay, to be quite honest with you, except for maybe the Saints might lose week 17 because they won't care at that point. So I think the Saints will be fine. They'll have home field advantage, and they'll host playoff games. So they should not, okay, they should not tense up and lose in New Orleans. So I'm still rolling with the Saints to go to and win the Super Bowl for my midseason predictions. Not my preseason, but my midseason predictions. Preseason, I had them missing the playoffs, but we don't need to discuss that today. I still like that, but I still have my concerns because 12, you know, really 12, and we saw the Rams score 6, and last night they had 10 or 13 throughout most of the game. So I don't know what's going on, but it's very interesting. Drew Brees, I think you can't give him MVP because this is now a second really weak performance that Patrick Mahomes quite simply has not had. And you can argue that Phillip Rivers has less weapons than Patrick Mahomes, but Drew Brees, maybe a little less, just a tiny bit less, but honestly, I'm not buying it. I think Drew Brees has better weapons than Patrick Mahomes. I know Patrick Mahomes has really the best tight end in the NFL right now because Kelsey's playing better than Gronk. Okay, I'll give you that. And he has Tyreek Hill, who's playing as a top 5 wide receiver. I still say he's only around 7 or 8, but he's playing as a top 5 wide receiver. With Kareem Hunt now out of the lineup, and you compare the Saints offensive line and the Chiefs offensive line, I think Drew Brees has better weapons because he has Kamara and Mark Ingram and Michael Thomas. The wide receivers outside of Michael Thomas aren't great right now. I will give you that. And we saw this number 11 clown, okay, that thought he was Superman trying to dive into the end zone, fumble the ball away, and I understand that. But Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram, Michael Thomas, and this offensive line, I think it's better than Patrick Mahomes' weapons. And Mahomes has now, I think he has 14 more touchdowns, maybe even 15 or 16 more touchdowns now at this point than Drew Brees. That's it. GG. Patrick Mahomes is the MVP. Unless if Phillip Rivers can have a huge game against the Baltimore Ravens. But I think Andrew Luck is now challenging Drew Brees in terms of MVP standing. But that's just my opinion on that. I just don't think you can see these two games for Drew Brees. This game and against the Dallas Cowboys when he put up 12 points and 13 points. One he won, okay, but the other one he lost. If Patrick Mahomes does that, they lose. Any given week he does that, they lose, period. I don't think the Chiefs have allowed a team to score less than 10 points this season. I don't think that's happened. Okay, I don't think that's happened. So I don't think you can give him that. Even the Chiefs are giving up points to the Raiders, right? Every single week Patrick Mahomes has to show up. Drew Brees does not have to show up every week. He didn't really show up today. Let's be honest. The interception he threw wasn't a horrible pick, but he shouldn't have thrown the ball, right? He shouldn't have thrown the ball, and he got picked as a result of it. So that's my opinion on that. By the way, great pick by James Bradbury. By the way, it was Tommy Lee Lewis. Okay, I remember this guy. I've only seen him in fantasy in the occasional Saints game when he occasionally catches something. This is the clown that thought he was Superman. Okay, thought he was Tommy Lee Jones instead of Tommy Lee Lewis. Okay, thought he was Tommy Lee Jones in Men in Black or something. I don't know what he thought. But he fumbled the ball, and he's the GOAT in a bad way today. Not the good GOAT, but a bad GOAT today. Great poke out by Von Bell on that fumble for DJ Moore. Give him props. And that's pretty much all I want to say about this game. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on the New Orleans Saints Carolina Panthers Monday Night Football matchup. What are your thoughts? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. And until next time, this has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. See you all later.